The visualizations we've created thus far are simple in the sense that all we needed to do was map existing data. However, one of the strengths of the data visualization tools that we looked at is that they do some data manipulation for you by aggregating data. For example, in the car sales example, you could simply specify a dimension, such as country or make, and a measure you wanted to map, such as sales price. And the data visualization tool would aggregate the data by the dimension and then aggregate the measure, for example, by calculating the sum, or if you preferred, the average. Doing all this in Python is a little bit more complicated because you need to manipulate the data. So in order to illustrate how that works, I have created a simplified version of the car sales data sheet, which you can download from the web page, the Canvas page if you want. And just to show you what's in it, I'm going to print out the columns in that data frame. And you see that all we have is make, country name, sales price, and so on. So all of the information related to clients is not available in this database, in this simplified data sheet. So what I'm going to do now is split out the data by make. So what this does, it goes to the sales data frame, and then gives me all of the rows in that data frame whose make is Jaguar. And again, to see what's going on, we'll print Jag. So you see what this has done is, which as you would expect, as you would hope for, it has taken all of the Jaguar sales out of the sales database and created a new data frame. And now what we can do is we can do some calculations over that data frame. So we can do Jag totals by running the sum function over that data frame. We want to run it along the columns. So we specify the axis to be 0. If you make it 1, it adds across the rows. And we only want to add the numeric numbers, the numeric values. And then we can also count the number of sales. And again, let's see what's in it. So we're going to print Jag totals. And we're going to print Jag count. But let's only do that for make. So let's run this. And what you see is, yeah, we do indeed get totals, and we do get the number of Jaguar sales in our database. And then obviously what we can do now is we can go and calculate the average sales price. Let's do that. Jag average sales price. And that obviously is going to be the Jag totals sales price, sale price divided by Jag count. We can get rid of this, and then what we'll do is we'll get the average cost price as well. And again, let's print them out to see what they are. All right, so let's run this. And we get kind of what we want. So this kind of looks okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do two things. First of all, we don't want the calculations over and over again. So I'm just going to only look at make. And then the second thing I want to do is round it, because there's too many points behind the decimal, too many digits behind the decimal point. All right, run it again and see if this looks better. And this looks better because now we get the average sales price and the average cost price. So that's good, because we now have what we want for Jaguar. Problem, of course, that we're going to have to do this for all of the other makes in our database as well. And rather than type that out, what I'm going to do is simply pick up that code from somewhere else. So here we go. Add it here. All right. And now once I run this, I have the average costs, sales price and average cost price for all of the makes in my database. So you see that I've essentially repeated that same process for Aston Martin, for Triumph, for TVR, for Bentley, and for Rolls-Royce. And now what I have to do, because I want to use all of this in a data frame that I'm going to plot, I now need to make a data frame, averages equals PD data frame. And then what I need to do is first get all of the Jaguar data. Make sure I use the right number, sales price, Jag, average cost price. And then obviously I need to do that for all of the other makes as well. But again, rather than type this in, and I'm just going to pick that up from somewhere else. So now I have my my data together, and now what I have to do is tell Python what the columns are going to be, and the columns are going to be make average sales price and average cost price. And make sure that this is in equals. And then what we can do is we can print averages just to make sure that everything went okay. And you now see that we have a data frame that looks like a data frame we want, because now we can use that particular data frame to simply plot whatever we want to plot. So averages dot plot make, and I want to plot average sales price and average cost price. Run that again. Oops, and you see I made a mistake, but that one is easy enough to fix. So now eventually I will get that plot. Well, it's a line chart. I don't really want that. I want it as a bar chart. So I fix that, and then we can run it. And now I get the bar chart that I want. So you see what we did, right? We dragged out all of the Jaguar sales, did some calculations, dragged out all of the Aston Martin sales, did some calculations. We did that for all of the makes. And then we made a new data frame with all of the Jaguar data, all of the Aston Martin data, and so on. And then I also told Python that in that data frame, the first column should be called make, second one average sales price, and the third one average cost price. And now that I have that, I can simply use the pandas plot function to start creating those visualizations. The point is that I had to do the data manipulation myself.